Hello everyone. I don't see my video yet. Okay, here we go. Hello everyone. I'm going to, and I would like to see it in Facebook too. All right. I want to tell you first of all that for the people from the Real Truth community I used to call, I founded these pages when this pandemic started, and they were very successful. In a period of 3 years, I reached 120, 130 million people, and the 3 pages were hacked by the Facebook itself. I have proof of that, and they were taken away from me. One in January, the other 2 about a month ago. So this is why if you go there, I don't have access anymore. How do I know that how that Facebook itself hacked my pages? Because I've been complaining and complaining since January, and they don't even answer. And I have other proofs. So one of the main purposes of my life is to know the truth. And to know the truth, we have to be able to be capable and willing to know the truth. What does it mean? Sometimes the truth maybe is not what we want to hear. A little bit of my background: I am electronic engineer, internet marketer. I've been practicing energy healing from the last 15 years. But I have this left brain, let's say training, where I want to know the truth with facts. So I've been using the pendulum. The pendulum follows the subtle movements of our bodies. I'm not going to explain everything here, but I want you to know that this is an instrument that has been using for hundreds of years to find water, to find lost things, and so on. There is a powerful book I would love you to read, Power versus Force, where the author is very well known, David Hawkins, used muscle testing, which is to put a hand and pull it down, and when the answer is a lie or is not true, the person goes weak, and when the answer is true, the person goes strong. So this is called applied kinesiology, or muscle testing. It's a very well-known procedure, and is similar to the principle that we use using the pendulum. It took me several years to use the pendulum because I didn't understand how did it work and the importance to find the truth. Until one day, trying to use the pendulum, I got to a book. I finished a book, and at the end of the book, there were the name of 4 people. So I turned the book around, I have the 4 persons there, and I put the pendulum, not asking. I don't remember the circumstances, but I said, who should I contact? And the pendulum was going straight to a person. And I will show you some examples. Since then, I've been using it every day for everyday life questions. And one of the most important things is on the 2020 election. You know, there are so many candidates, so many measurements, and I don't have the time to read them all. Not only that, how would I know if the politician for that position is lying or not? So here I have the ballot that I'm going to vote. And before that, with the pendulum, one of the most important questions that we have is a yes or not. Let's say, if I ask, should I do this video, live video, to show people what we can do with the pendulum to find the truth? And the pendulum moves in this way to the front and to the back. I'm going to ask the opposite question. Instead of doing the video, should I go running to the beach? What is the best for me? The best? And he said no, because for my highest good is to do this video to teach people how to find the truth. So in the same way, in the elections, this is the elections of this year. We have two choices here. So what I'm going to do is to put the page like that, put the pendulum, and answer all these questions. But this is a practical application. Why? Because, you know, politicians, most of them, they don't mean what they say. We know how the politicians in the US, most of them are corrupted, paid by, you know what, you know the story. So I did that in 2024. I made a video, but I didn't have the courage to publish it. And now I am doing it because, you know, the unprecedented circumstances of the war and this election in the US. Have you seen these videos in the UK? They were doing demonstrations and they were saying that certain president is the only hope that we have, not just for the US, but for the whole world. And this is a very bold statement. And I'm not going to follow whatever people say, but I'm going to use the pendulum to see if it's true. Actually, from the candidates, the one that I like the most is not the either one that will have the most votes. He will come on third because he's very honest and has a knowledge that no one of the other presidents have. But I'm going to use the pendulum, and I will show you, to find what is the best candidate for my beliefs, which is important too. And will give me one, but what is the best vote in this election? It will give me another one. Because we need to save this country from all this corruption. So let's go straight to the practical part. And if you have any question, please let me know. I'm going to check the Facebook too. Let me see if I can open. I am doing also in Facebook. Oh. Here we go. I cannot share. Hold on a sec. I need to share in one more place very quickly. And then I come back. I think I'm going to share with, oh, that's all. Okay. And I'm going to come back to the live video to see if there is any questions. Where is the live video? I need to share in one more place. So, the pendulum is an instrument, a tool that follows the subtle movements of our body. There is a very simple experiment. You are standing up, you close your eyes, and you say a statement. My name is Carlos. Because this is my name, my body will subtly move to the front. If I said my name is John, my body will move in a subtle way to the back. I did that experiment many years ago and it works. The muscle testing is the same principle and the pendulum the same. So our body connected with our soul, with the energy body that we have with our soul, knows the truth. It's not my mind. It's not a reasoning. I am just relaxed. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a little room and see how. Let me see. All right, I need, okay, I have a board that I can use to extend this. Here we go. and I'm going to zoom a little bit more so you can see better. And I'm not going to even read what are the names of the candidates, the party, and so on. This is the first one, members of the State Assembly. And there are two people. So what do? This is another pendulum. I have several of them. I put a pendulum between the two candidates. And I am totally relaxed, and I ask, without even looking at the names, what is the best candidate for this position? And gives me the first one. So what do? I get a pen, and I mark this. I go for the second one, United States Representative. Oh, what did I do with the pen? Here we go. So I go to the second one. I'm going to bend this a little bit. The second one, and I put the pendulum in the middle of the two. And I ask, what is the best candidate for this position? And gives me also the first one. I'm going to double check later, and so on. This is all I am doing. Here there are three. No, the tree says write-in candidate. Write-in candidate. So I have three options here. And let me see how here. Three options over here. Three options. I'm going to put the pendulum between two of them, and I'm going to ask, what is the best way to vote here? And I'm considering this person, Elizabeth, this man, Robert, or should I write a candidate? What is the best option to vote in this water replacement? And goes to Robert. Of course, I don't know anyone for that position. This is why it didn't go there. So I just mark. And I want your opinion, because some of you may be thinking Carlos is nuts. But I have so many reasons to do that. And now I'm going to go to the most important one, because this is an experiment for me. National election, president and vice president. Start Jill Einstein, Donald. I don't say anything because of the corrupted censorship. Claudia de la Cruz, that person I don't want to say, Robert Kennedy, Chase Oliver. Okay. So I'm going to put all the candidates aligned like that, and put the pendulum in the middle. Remember, and this is important, I'm going to want you to see me, the pendulum, in my case, I have no political convictions. I never belonged to any party, not even here, not back in my country, Argentina, because politicians, most of them are corrupted, but they are good people too. And I don't have the time to investigate their life, what they have been doing. I have so many more important things to do. So I have no preconception, no bias. And as I said in a video that I posted yesterday, I am ready to receive an answer for the ugly truth. So what I'm going to ask here is two things. One is, what is the best candidate according to my beliefs? It has to be honest, not corrupted, know about many things, this thingy, the food, the things in the sky, the WEF, World Unhealthy Organization, all those things. He has to know everything that no one of the other candidates knows. And the other question will be, what in this particular election, what is for the highest good of the country to be elected? I believe I will have two different answers. Let's see. All right. I don't know if you can see the names, but I'm going to do this. I put somewhere in the middle. There are 7. So I'm going to put in the middle of the third and the fourth. I'm going to ask, for my beliefs, for the things that I do, what would be the best candidate, the best candidate of all? And I know, it gives me Robert Kennedy, but he has no chance to win this election. And now I'm going to ask, and I didn't even know where Robert Kennedy was, and I don't know where the others are. But in this particular election, what is the best, the highest good for the country and the world to be elected? And goes to Donald Trump. So you see, this is the right use of the pendulum. I am ready to know the truth and the ugly truth. What do I mean by that? In my opinion, Donald Trump is not the best because of the things that he supported and so on. To me, as a person and as an educated person to be the president of the United States, Robert Kennedy has much more knowledge and is much more capable, even though a president will be surrounded by people knowledgeable. But you see, Donald Trump asked for the help of Robert Kennedy. And when I ask what is the best for the highest good of the United States and the world, it gives me another one. So I want you to ask any questions. If you are watching, let me see, where is YouTube? I don't see any question. And in order to teach that, I encourage you to sign up for my free webinar. The link is below. Let me see if the link is below. More. Yes, the link is below. If you click there, you will go to a page that says sign up free for my webinar, where I'm going to teach people how to use the pendulum. It's not difficult, anyone can do it, and it's fun. I use it, for example, I go to the market and there are 2-3 brands or 4 of a vitamin or something that I want to buy. I just put the pendulum and I choose what is the best one. I am buying something in the internet like I did 3 days ago. It was glucosamine. And I have a big variety. There are people buy the cheapest one or the best. I didn't know what to do. So I start using the pendulum until I choose one. So it takes all the stress and the uncertainty of what you are doing is right or not. And do you know the importance to know the truth nowadays? Do you know the importance of separate the truth from the haystack of information that we are bombarded every day from social media, the TV? I don't watch TV. I suggest you not to watch it either. Newspapers, radio, word of mouth, family members, friends. There is so much information. Now, somebody tells you this, somebody tells you that, and even in the same activism environment, there are different opinions. But we need to make one decision, one that is best for us. Do you know the importance to know the truth from what is a lie? Yes, you know, because if you saw my email yesterday or this morning, you sign up for one of my email lists. This is why you are here. So I'm going to do a webinar next Thursday. I think it's the 5th. The 5th. Today is, no, it's not the 5th, the 7th. The 7th, November 7th, at 7 p.m. Pacific time, USA and Canada. Just a brief one, probably half an hour. And it's going to be in Zoom, so you sign up, and when you sign up, you receive an email with the Zoom link, just for people who are interested in learning to know the truth by using the pendulum. The use of the pendulum is something scientific, but with a science that is not the mainstream science. Even though, if you read this book that I told you, there are science experiments proving all this. Read it. This is an incredible book. Power versus Force by David Hawkins. Actually, I was marking. Look, this is very interesting. Scientific inquiry. So in this chapter, David Hopkins explored the use of the muscle testing, which with the pendulum is even better because you don't need anyone and you do it faster. He says, a kinesiological test that I will replace for the use of the pendulum of the market viability of any potential product can arrive at clear conclusions regarding public acceptance and feasibility of marketing in less than a minute. Product acceptability and profitability can be ascertained very accurately if questions are phrased with precision and all contingencies are investigated, including timing, markets, advertising, and subpopulation to be addressed. Medical science, to confirm both diagnosis and the efficacy of a probable therapy. The right dose of the right medicine can also be determined by the patient's kinesiologic response. Similarly, allergies can be detected. The need for nutritional supplements may be determined. So, scientific inquiry. Since this method, the muscle testing or the use of the pendulum, there is a comment there. Ixora or yes, yes. Ria, this class will be online. Yeah, this class is going to be online. I did a class a couple of times, several times in my home with the people here from the Los Angeles area, but this class will be online because it's very easy. It's a live class. I'm going to be there. It's not a video that you buy and you practice as best as you can. I'm going to be there to help you out. So, this method bypasses limitations of context. This is in scientific inquiry. One of its most values uses as a check on the process itself, a scientific process, whether or not it is a correct direction to take. As an electronic engineer, and more than that, I work in a cancer clinic for 23 years. I participate in trials. How is it called? Clinical trials. And when you do that, you start thinking the ways to measure a temperature, what is the best way. So you try many things, and look at what he says about Einstein. So for scientific uses, the use of the pendulum is a phenomenal tool. And look at this. Edison. What is Edison? Thomas Edison tested more than 1,600 substances before he arrived at tungsten as the most suitable element to be used for his historic development of the incandescent light bulb. An easier way, and it took him more than a year, an easier way to detect the best material would be to divide the possible alternatives in two groups and ask, let's say we put 800 on one side and 800 on the other. And we ask with the pendulum, in which side, which 800 is the best material I can try, and goes to one side. So this 800 you divide again, 400 and 400, and you ask, in which of the two sides is the material the best material? So you can arrive to the best material in minutes. Okay. An easier way to detect the best material would be to divide the possible alternative into two groups and ask, the material is in this group, yes or no? You see, they have to ask for each group. But since two, if it's not this, it's going to be the other. With the pendulum, you put the pendulum and it will show you. After this determination, the group is again subdivided, and so on. By this method, an answer can be derived in a matter of minutes rather than years. Another example. Nabisco Holdings Corporation wasted approximately $350 million to research and produce smokeless cigarettes on the mistaken assumption that smoking is primarily an oral habit. In fact, it's since been discovered that when people go blind, they tend to quit. Smoking has multiple bases, of which oral gratification is one. And then comes what I read before, a kinesiological test of the market kinesiological test of the market viability of any potential product can arrive at clear conclusions regarding public acceptance and feasibility of marketing in less than a minute. So this is just a few examples. I have so many that actually clinical work in medicine, as well as the efficacy of a prescribed treatment, can be tested. The technique is also valuable in psychological issues, where the cause of a disorder can be quickly ascertained. One currently controversial subject of investigation that obviously suggests itself is the area of so-called repressed childhood memories of alleged sexual abuse. Facts can be quickly differentiated from false memories eliciting response of suggestion. Anyway, there are many uses. How many uses? As many as your imagination can come up with. For example, if you want to change careers or you want to look for a job, you can narrow down your possibilities. And you have 10 companies and start asking what is the best for me. I have a client that for month and month has been stubbornly trying to work in certain field, and finally she realized that that was more than a dream for several things, and she asked me, Carlos, what should I do? Should I go back to this or keep doing? I said, you have to decide, because she was relying on people to tell her what to do. You need to decide and see what is best for you. And finally she made a decision, and I agree with that. I didn't want to tell her, what you are looking for, I don't think is the best for you. So even these situations, many times somebody invites me for a dinner or an event and I don't feel like going. But I ask with the pendulum, should I go? And the pendulum says, yes, you have to go, and I don't feel like going. I go and I have a great time. I meet some interesting or intelligent people and things like that. You see those simple things. But also, David Hopkins, in his book Power versus Forces, you can even ask the most intricate philosophical questions. For example, when they say, is really the weather changing and we have to cut all the trees so they don't produce and kill all the cows because they produce carbon dioxide? I mean, we know what is the truth, but most people have no clue. We can check that with a pendulum. So I really encourage to come to my webinar next Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time in the US and Canada. The link to sign up is underneath. the videos, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Let me see, I don't see any comment here. Here, I don't see any comment. All right. Since you don't have any question, I'm going to wrap up this. Thank you, Ixora, for your question. Yes, this is going to be eventually. I mean, the webinar that I am doing on Thursday is just to give you more information about the pendulum, how to use it, requirements, and things like that, and show you that everyone can use it. And it's going to be online. The class itself is going to be online. It's very easy. It's going to be about 4 hours. It's going to be 2 hours of explanation and 2 hours of practical use. You're going to be there with the pendulum. I'm going to see you and help you, every one of you, until you get it and you have the confidence. It takes practice, 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 like everything else. If you want to practice a sport, be good at your profession, whatever, it takes practice. But when you have this practice, it's going to be very rewarding. And nowadays, knowing the truth is crucial. No question. God bless us all. And I'm looking forward to see you in my webinar.